what I'm going to be talking about today, and this is what I was just talking in my other two groups about that I went live in, I'm going to be talking a little bit about energy stuff, March energy and April energy, what we're currently navigating and working through, because we all know we're going through massive stuff right now, and I want to share some perspectives and insights and guidance with you that might help you make sense of what's going on, might give you some tools and practices to move through everything we're experiencing. And I've also pulled a couple of tarot cards for April from this deck, which is one of my favorite decks. And I'm going to read the descriptions to you from this book. This is the Ultimate Tarot Guide by Biddy Tarot. I love this book. And it was so interesting because the cards that I've pulled are so relevant to what we're working through right now. And I'm like, all right, I want to come on and share these messages with you. So I've got a little bit I want to share about March and what we've been navigating. And then I want to give you some guidance around what we're going to be working through energetically in April. I have a new podcast episode that's coming out really soon that dives deeper into a lot of this. But I just want to give you some aspects of it now so you have some things to work with before that episode comes out. So just a little overview of what we've been navigating in March, which we're all in it. We're probably all feeling it, but let me give you a little insight around the themes we've been navigating. So obviously March has been unknown and uncertainty. We've seen our plans, so what, us as humans, our human self have come up with as our plan for March, completely fall apart. We've seen a gigantic universal pause, and we've seen the divine plan take over, haven't we? Are you feeling that? Are you feeling this sort of pause from the universe, which has said, okay, all of you rushing around, doing, achieving, thinking, setting your goals and going after them. Here's a big universal pause, and the divine plan and the divine guidance is going to come in and lead us instead right now. Okay, so that's been one of the big themes we've been working through. Surrender has been a massive theme this month. And you know what? I was saying this in one of my groups. We have been pushed into the feminine so beautifully through March, if you can really see that. Understand our masculine structures of outcomes, goals, routines, plans, striving has completely fallen apart. Has it not? Have we not all been pushed? Thank you for the love hearts, my friends. Have we not all been pushed deeply into our feminine? And in the feminine, what I mean by that is we've come into more of a surrendered space. We're having to slow down and drop in deeper to ourselves, because understand when we're rushing and racing, we're just up in our head somewhere in the future, but we've been really pulled into the present moment, haven't we? To surrender in, to be with ourselves, to feel our feelings, to learn more deeply how to support and nourish ourselves. Now that's all beautiful feminine self-care, self-love work. And we all, whether you're a man or a woman, we all have the feminine within us in different elements. But we've been brought much more into flow. Yeah? Universal plan that we are now flowing with rather than forcing the universe to flow with us. So there's been a beautiful push into the feminine this month, and there's been a real drop into our hearts too. Have you felt the heart activation as we are all caring so deeply about each other? We're all united. We are all having to work together. We are all having to be generous and compassionate and understanding. And we've been quite humbled. So we've really been brought down into our heart, which is, again, a beautiful thing. And I'm just sharing this with you so you can start to see some of the beautiful gifts that are coming through for us from an inner work perspective right now. There's been we've been pulled into practicing deeper levels of acceptance and allowing. And again, that's very feminine. So rather than being in control and in charge, we are coming more into the receptive space, and we are just having to learn how to allow and accept what life is bringing us, and then learn how to flow and adapt to that. So when this very first happened, a lot of us went into a state of resistance, and resistance is when we're pushing against what is. I don't like it. I don't want it. This is wrong. This is uncomfortable. I'm scared. This is inconvenient, whatever that was. And a lot of resistance energy came up. A lot of fear energy came up. As we've moved through the month, and I wonder if you can feel the softening in the energy. And again, the softening is more of the feminine. So we are all energetically softening a little. And as you come into more acceptance and allowing, your energy softens. You open up. Can you feel the opening too? There's been such an opening happening. We've all had to just pause and open up our eyes and open up our consciousness and actually listen and pay attention, rather than when we're not doing that, we're kind of like tunnel vision on where we're going. So this acceptance and allowing has been asking us to open up to receive what's happening, open up to allow what's happening. We don't have to like it or love it or agree with it or think it's the best thing ever. But there's this softening of acceptance, and I'm feeling it collectively as the whole world drops into acceptance of what's happening and being in the present moment and just allowing the journey to unfold, right? There's also been big unraveling energy happening. Have you noticed aspects of yourself, aspects of your life unraveling? And some people are experiencing this in much bigger ways than other people. Some of us, it might just be small things unraveling, like patterns of behavior within ourselves or our plans. For some people, and this is sort of what my guidance shared with me, and I talk about this in the podcast, a big unraveling of our human attachments. There's a lot of human attachment that is being released right now. Attachment to our career and our money and our status and our identity and even our health or even our way of doing things. And, these are this is like a collective dark night of the soul. You know when you have an individual dark night of the soul and it's like you are just forced to your knees to surrender and just open up and say, show me what I'm supposed to do with this. And many of us are going through that right now. That's what we're being pushed into. And March has almost had a little bit of a death energy to it as well. And I don't mean death like people dying. I mean death like death of the ego, death of old ways, death of the human attachments. Beautiful Kylie, thank you so much for these messages. I thought I was doing okay, but it came up for me big time yesterday where I broke down and cried, moving through the feelings that are so heightened. Molly's saying yes, agreeing. Yeah, we're still in waves of it. It's going to be coming in waves. And again, this is why the feminine approach is so beautiful. Because when I teach feminine work, I always say the way you nurture and nourish yourself from a feminine perspective is different in every single moment, in every single hour, in every single day. The feminine is constantly in movement and flow and flux. And we always have to be adapting how we love and support the feminine aspect of ourselves based on what we're needing in any moment. So yeah, one day you might be fine. You might be calm and cool and collected and totally chill and grounded and feeling really optimistic. And then the next day, boom, that emotion floors you and you are in grief again and you're in panic again. And so it's about being so gentle and compassionate with ourselves to be adapting how we're supporting ourselves through this constantly based on what we're needing and never judging our process, never judging what's coming up for us, but just tuning in to that very tender part and saying, okay, sweetheart, what do you need today? What do you need from me to support you through this? So self-care, self-love is just amplifying right now. Yeah? Ooh, someone just had a huge aha as I was saying that. Beautiful. I'm so glad. Yes, and the waves. Yes, yes, yes. So this kind of death energy that's been going on, there is a massive halt to what is out of alignment. And what we are in now with this collective pause, thank you for the love hearts. What we are in now with this collective pause is a giant period of reassessment. Anytime life pauses you, it's giving you an opportunity to step out of action mode and actually look within instead. And it's pausing everything so that we can look I just knocked my computer. Look within ourselves and clean up what's out of alignment. Reflect on, and I say this in the podcast, were you actually really happy with how things were before this big pause happened? This is a chance for us to actually look at everything and be like, okay, the things that have fallen away right now, what things am I deeply missing and I'm craving because I can see they're so important to me? And what things am I I feel relief actually, that thing is gone because I realized I was only doing it out of obligation. So it's a beautiful opportunity to assess and reflect. And so what I want to share about April, and I'll share I said right at the start, I have some cards. I pulled some cards for us for April, and I'll share them in a minute. Whew, this is coming through quick. Can you feel it? I don't normally talk this fast, but it is coming through quick. What we are coming into with April is still an extension of March. The energy is going to continue to flow. We're still going to be working with themes of surrender, uncertainty, and unknown, being in the present moment, continuing to practice our acceptance and allowing. But there's a deeper focus on April through actually coming back into our power in this situation. Because I don't know about you, but I definitely felt powerless at points through March. Beautiful. Bringing all the attention back to self. 100%. This is such an incredible opportunity to return to self. That's a massive opportunity here for all of us. And a lot of us don't like that. It's kind of uncomfortable when you just have to sit with yourself and be with yourself and be with your feelings and really look at your life and ask yourself, do I really feel like I'm on the right path? Do I really feel like I'm going in the right direction? And I know I'm jumping around a lot, but I'm just following where the energy is taking me. In my podcast, one of the things I talk about is my guidance had said to me, at some point this is going to shift, right? And at some point, we don't know when, but at some point we are going to get a green light to move forward. And it's super important that we are checking in and doing the inner work now to make sure that when we move forward, we are moving forward, one, differently, and two, truly in the direction we want to be going in. Like, what a gift we have right now to pause and reassess and potentially pivot so that when the green light comes, we have the opportunity to say, okay, do I just want to go back to how everything was? Or do I want to make a change? Yeah? Do I want to do things differently now? Beautiful, Mani. There's been nowhere to run, which has been challenging yet so insightful. 100% nowhere to run. You got to look within in those times. And I mean, there has been some places to run. A lot of us have been getting on our phones a lot. Can anyone relate to that? Scrolling social media constantly is a way to distract from what we're feeling. Yes, wow, all about the pivot. The energy is going to feel different after all the chaos and self-healing. 100% it is. And we have to be different. Okay? Because the energy is going to be different and we don't want to bring our old selves into this fresh new energy that's going to come in for us. So April is our opportunity to do the inner alignment work with who we want to be and what we want to create after this. Kendra, it's all about going within and the person we're going to be post-pandemic, 100%. And not just the person we're going to be for us, but the person we want to be for the world now. Who do we want to be in our relationships? What changes do we want to make to how we're showing up in our career? How do we want to live from our hearts more? How do we want to, cherish the things now that we took for granted before this? How much did you just take, catching up with a friend for granted? No more. And that's, someone said a really interesting point here. It's kind of strange, but despite the quarantine, I don't feel quite ready to re-enter the world either right now. You're 100% right. That's what the universe told me, is we're not ready to re-enter yet. That's why we're still on pause. Okay? Because we are still shifting energetically, and my guidance had said to me, there has to be enough of a collective shift, like there has to be what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word? Where it's the majority. That's the word I'm looking for. The majority of the population has to have shifted enough energetically for us to get the green light. Otherwise, we'll just default. I had no idea I needed to grab a notebook before this. These lessons are fire. There's fire coming through right now. I can't stop it. You'll get to rewatch this, so don't worry if you miss anything. Okay, so April. Now, there's new possibilities dropping in. There's new aspects of ourselves that we want to embody. There's new paths we want to venture down. There's new things we want to create. Now, we don't have the option right now to create that through action. We're all aware of that. We might be starting to feel the changes, the desires, the new possibilities, and life is saying, no, don't get into action yet and go and create them. Instead, create them internally. Go within, because remember, energy work is more important than just action work. Energy alignment precedes action. Energy alignment is just as important in the manifestation process as the action work. And so we're all being shown right now, you can start to create everything you want within your inner world. Visualize it, feel it, imagine it, journal about it, get excited about it. And don't have to jump into action right away. Thank you, love. Your energy is fire right now. It is. I don't know where this came from, but I just tapped in and it's just like flowing right now. So it's about remembering the power that we have to make changes actually within. So first of all, there's two components to this. First of all, you can make changes within yourself now, even before anything changes externally. How do you want to show up differently in your health? How do you want to show up differently in your self-care? What changes do you want to make to how you think and feel? Where your mindset's at, your relationship with yourself. So it's really important that you can't create a new reality by being your old self. So there's going to be a lot of kind of death and unraveling and releasing of old parts of ourselves as we begin to align now with who do we want to be, to align with what we want to create once this is over. Beautiful opportunity to do the inner work and really look at, like, am I proud with who I'm being and how I'm showing up for myself? And if not, I have a beautiful opportunity to make some shifts. And then the energy alignment work is where we create what we want on the inner world first before we get into action. And I've been spending the past few mornings like literally getting so damn excited about what I'm going to create after this. And there's so much surrender because I don't know if this is a month from now, 6 months from now, a year from now. That's kind of irrelevant. When you go into create on the inner world, like in your energy field, time is irrelevant. You can actually, by closing your eyes, experience the world you want to be living in right now in your imagination. You can be laying the energetic foundations of what you want to build materially right now within yourself. So get excited about that. Feel hopeful, feel optimistic, stay surrendered because we don't know when this is going to happen, but allow your energy to lighten because what we've got at the moment is the collective all giving our energy to what we don't want at the same time and all giving our energy to stuckness and restriction and isolation. And so if pretty much the whole world is giving our energy to that, we're going to continue to manifest that. But as individuals begin to do their inner work, to shift their energy, to anchor into higher levels of joy and hope and optimism, to get excited about what's coming, to tap more into their hearts, to come into alignment with what they truly want to create, your vibration is going to lift and elevate. Okay? And as I said before, as the majority begins to go through some form of energetic shift and our energy does lighten and come into more alignment, then we're going to be able to get the green light. So if you are conscious, and I use that term kind of lightly, but those of us who are conscious and are doing our inner work, it is our opportunity and somewhat responsibility to ensure we are working to keep our vibration high right now. Yep. Beautiful. Oh my God, Connie, you're speaking all the things that have been running through my mind. We are all on the same page. We are so united. So April is a powerful month of conscious creation, but not through action, through energy. Okay. And it is also a deep time of realignment. Really use this time to get to know yourself, to get to know what you really want, to get honest about owning your true desires and preparing. Even some foundational preparation, clean up things that you just never got around to doing, setting up whether it's financial systems or getting your paperwork in order, or see this as a time to prepare, a little catch-up period where you now get to prepare for when the big wave of forward movement comes, and it's going to come. Okay, let me give you the cards because, hey Dan, nice to see you. Let me give you the cards because I got 2 cards for April and they're real cool and they're really in alignment. So the first card I think represents where we're at now, and I'm going to read a bit about it. Check out this card. So there she is. She's bound, blindfold on, surrounded by swords. She doesn't look very happy, does she? So this is the 8 of Swords, and the energy of this card is isolation, self-imposed restriction, and imprisonment. Okay, pretty much sums up what we're feeling right now, right? But let me read some things to you about this card because This isn't just doom and gloom. Here we go. The Eight of Swords reflects that you've been trapped by your thoughts and your perspectives. The woman in this card is blindfolded and bound, trapping her into thinking that she has no way out. However, if she could only just remove the blindfold and change her thinking, she would see that she does, in fact, have options. The Eight of Swords suggests that you need to look at a difficult situation from a new angle. What else here? Okay, so the woman in the Eight of Swords is often seen as powerless. She has surrendered her power to an unknown entity, thus rendering herself completely powerless. She has become the victim, and now she's waiting to be rescued. Okay, who of us have given our power away to the government, to the media, to the medical profession? We're waiting to be rescued from this, right? If you see part of this woman in yourself, then it is imperative you take your power back and your personal accountability, and you open up your eyes to the options that lay in front of you. The fact is, you do have options, even if you don't like the options. So as long as you accept that you do in fact have options, you do not have to be the victim. No more victim thinking, my loves. No more victim thinking. I understand we feel restricted right now, but we don't have to be a victim. We might be physically limited, but we don't have to let our whole energy feel like this. Has your energy been feeling like this? Okay? So this is a reflection, like almost like the external restriction and limitation is often a reflection of our internal restriction and limitation. So this is a chance to look at the limitations you're placing on yourself. Yeah, everyone's being like, wow, I'm blown away by this, so on point, bang on, amazing. I am not a victim. Damn not, that ends now. Okay, so how are you going to reclaim your power? How are you going to make the best of this? What are your options? What are the possibilities? What are the blessings? What can you do? Focus on what you can do rather than what you can't do. Okay? Beautiful message for us, right? Then another card came through, which I think represents what we're going to be feeling sort of midpoint through the month, or kind of what's coming. And this one's real beautiful. Two of Cups. I'll show in a minute the deck and the book that I'm using for you, those of you who want to know. Two of Cups, okay? So, Two of Cups represents unified love, partnership, attraction, and relationships. Look at this contrast. We have a woman completely isolated and bound, and then we have two people coming together in beautiful union, love, abundance, and happiness, okay? We're shifting out of this, and we're coming into this. And yeah, are they socially distanced enough? I think they are. They're keeping their social distance there, which is good. Good on them. They're not going to get fined. Okay, but let's talk about this message. So the Two of Cups shows the beauty and power that is created when two become one. This card reflects balance, mutual respect, harmony in relationship with one another. Oh yeah, Age of Aquarius, yep. There is no I, just we. Both parties are focused on mutually beneficial outcomes and win-win situations. Yes, community, union. Look at this union. This is people coming together in their hearts, not thinking about me, thinking about we. Community, connection, union, uniting as one, uniting in love. Can you feel that, right? So this does typically point to relationship and romantic union, but it doesn't just have to be about that. But do you know what else this is? Because my guidance was sharing this with me. This is in the podcast too. We're doing beautiful union within ourselves right now. We are uniting the yin and the yang, the masculine and feminine, the action and surrender, human and spiritual. We're uniting within ourselves. We're integrating. Okay, so this is both within us and around us. And this is a beautiful message of like the love and abundance and connection that's coming for us, even if we can't experience it right now. And for any of you wanting to call in a divine partnership, this is a beautiful sign for you that it's on its way. Absolutely. Yes, collectiveness, being part of a whole. This also has a beautiful message for anything work-related. If you... this represents a new business venture. So some of you might be birthing new things in your work or your business at the moment, if that's where you're at. It represents a business partnership or employment that is filled with positive energy and inspiration. It also reflects, if you're looking for work, and I know some people might be, it's a positive sign you'll find your ideal fit, right? So the energy of this card is compassion, cooperation, respect, and caring. It understands the healing powers of love and the importance of relating to each other. Okay? Really beautiful healing message for us. So again, the union within ourselves and the union around us. Whew. Hallelujah to calling in a life partner. Yeah. Someone says I'm getting chills. Yes, this is beautiful. So many possibilities. Yes. Okay. And this is, like we were just saying, this is where we get back in our power. We start to get excited. We elevate our energy. We become optimistic. We look forward to what's coming. We make the best of where we are. All right. If we're on action wise, if we're on pause, external action wise, great. Well, what action can I be taking within myself then? You still can be doing things. You are not bound. You are not this person. You are not this person. Okay. There is light at the end of the tunnel. And that is what I was saying. Through April, continue to elevate your energy, and that will all click us all into forward movement together. So for anyone who was curious, this is the card deck I was using, the Golden Universal Tarot. I love this deck. I love it. Beautiful. All the feels and goosebumps. Thank you. My pleasure. And the book that I read from, so after going through the dark night, we've got a beautiful light and rebirth. That's what's happening. And I read through from The Ultimate Guide to Tarot by Bridget Esselmont. Really love that book too. All right, loves, any final thoughts or questions? I feel like whatever needed to come through me has come through. Whew, I'm feeling good after that. Any final thoughts? Thank you for sharing these messages. My pleasure. My pleasure. I will aim to get this one up on IGTV because I think it was pretty potent. So I've got a podcast coming out in a couple of days for you, which will talk more. There's a lot of divine messages in that one. A lot for you there about uncertainty and surrender. My pleasure, Mallory. Thank you. My pleasure. And I still have, if you're interested, 50% off all of my online courses and products and programs right now, and they're all available self-paced. So if you want to be digging into some of your beautiful inner work through April, you can go to conniechapman.com/shop. And you can get half price, literally, of all of my products and programs and courses, and work through them at your own pace, your own time, and have lifelong access to them. So I hope that supports you as well. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Lily, Claire, the whole voice, Mallory. My pleasure. Thank you. Sending you all lots of love. We've got this. We've come through the hardest part. Beautiful to see you, Nicole. Thank you. We have moved through the hardest part. Light is coming, but we have to find the light within ourselves first. Rather than sitting here waiting for the light to come, we anchor in the light. We create the light. We get back in our power. Don't give your power away. Get back in your power and realize just how much you have that you can be doing right now. Okay? Beautiful. My pleasure, Molly. My pleasure, Lily. Thank you so much, loves. I will hopefully be able to get this up on IGTV, and I will talk to you soon. Lots of love. Bye.